All right, welcome back to Pachter Factor, episode 159. We're pushing 160. On SIFTD.net, I hope you are a Patreon patron. If you are, thank you so much. Shane just built a new studio. He's out several $100,000. So we just need each of you to subscribe for $2 a month for 5 years, and we're golden. Anything like that would really help. If you can't afford that, and you have Amazon Prime, please link your Twitch account to Amazon Prime. Instructions are in the description of the show, and you have to resubscribe every month, but that's a single button push. So please try to remember to do that. We get $250 if you do that, and that's a really sweet deal. Our first question this week from YouTube, from Halo Fan 61. Hey Pac, is there a correlation between current install base and adoption rates of new consoles? For example, if Sony continues to support the PS4 with software toward the end of its cycle, could it potentially soften the launch of PS5? Do platform holders intentionally slow down releases for the old console to make the new console more inviting? The answer to your question is yes, yes, yes. And ask yourself why Sony wasn't at E3 and why Sony didn't announce a single game this year. Days Gone came out this year, but it wasn't announced. It was announced in prior years. Sony decided we're going balls out to support the PS5. Nothing's coming out holiday of 2019. Everything's coming out holiday 2020. PS5 is going to launch with The Last of Us Part 2. And they haven't said that, but you know that. There'll probably be a Gran Turismo. There'll be something. So for sure, they're going to support the PS5. And yes, they slow down, and Sony is the poster child for that. Now, Microsoft didn't do that. Gears of War is coming out without, the new Xbox. And Halo, I don't think they intentionally held it back as much as it's taken that long to make a great Halo. They all hold back software. You could even say Nintendo did that with Switch. Zelda came out on the Wii U, but it really came out on the Switch. And they pretty much held Zelda and held it until, and I think that's actually the classy way to do it. Support the old console and the new console at the same time. So I think that, that's what's going to happen with Halo. Support the old console and the new console. But yes, Sony for sure is not supporting the PS4 with new releases. It is supporting the PS5. From Patreon, our next question from Abner Torres. Is that really your name? What a cool name. Hey, yep. Pac and friends, will we see another price drop for PS4 and Xbox One this holiday season? Yes. $249 nominally with a game bundled in. So yes. Isn't it the last chance to sell these consoles before they're made obsolete? No. They will keep selling for 3 or 4 years after the Xbox Scarlet and PS5 come out. Will they try to squeeze as much cash from them as possible and keep the prices high, or drop the price and go for a cheaper volume play to sell more software? Yes. So look, they're going to cut the price to $249 and bundle in some software. They're going to cut the price to $199 full-time right before the launch of the Xbox Scarlet and PS5. They're going to cut the price to $149 the following year. They're going to cut the price to $99 the following year. And the only way that any of that doesn't happen is if it costs more than $149 or $199 to make one. I don't know what the real cost is, but this new Xbox One S discless version, what's it called? Digital edition, without the hard drive, there's no way that thing costs more than $100 to make. No chance. So that's what I think you're going to get. I think you're going to get that all digital edition for $99. And if you're a new gamer, and if you're like 7 now and you're turning 11 in 2022 or whatever, 23, that's a perfect starter console for you. And they can download the entire Xbox library for $10 a game. And what the hell?
$10 a month.
Well, that's exactly right.
Pass.
Yeah, so I think that's a really good point. A $99 Xbox One digital edition and a Game Pass subscription bundled together, let's say $200, and you get a year of free games and then renewable at $10 a month thereafter. That's really compelling for a new gamer. And you can play everything that's ever been on the Xbox One. You really can't. You can't play Madden. You know, you can't play FIFA, but you can play all the Xbox games. And they'll probably, with that subscription, sell you Madden and FIFA, old ones, for $10 because EA will sell it to you as a digital download. So I think that that's going to happen, and that's a good thing for them to do to introduce people to gaming. Think about this: like, how much money does Mercedes make on a C-class car? You know, $30,000. And the answer is no more than $30,000, right? They cost money to make. Probably make 5. How much do they make on a $100,000 S-Class? More than 5. So they'd rather you buy the $100,000 car, but they know everybody doesn't have $100,000. So they offer a $30,000 car because they figure if you're going to spend 25 on a Volkswagen, maybe you'd rather buy a Mercedes for 30 and feel like you're driving a classier car. So they create the entry-level vehicle with the goal of upselling you to the more expensive one. That's what a $99 Xbox One is going to be. So no, I don't think they're dead. I think that we see them for another 5-6 years. Okay, our next question from SIFTD from Zero Kaiser. Sony and Microsoft have both stated that they are interested in buying more studios for exclusive first-party development. Do you think Nintendo, Google, or Amazon will join the acquisition race? Do you think it's good for the industry to be mostly first-party? Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you. I do think that Sony and Microsoft are going to buy studios as long as they're selling consoles. And I think that Microsoft for sure and Sony maybe are going to buy studios and have first-party software as long as they're in the games business, whether it's games as a service or they're selling consoles. Nintendo is not a big game studio purchaser. They have bought studios before, but they really are kind of world-class internal. And I don't see them doing it to the same degree that Microsoft's been doing it. The interesting thing is that Microsoft's buying mostly smaller studios. They're not bad. You know, they have 1 or 2 of these most recent acquisitions that make AAA games. So you know, Microsoft bought Ninja Theory and Obsidian. Those are pretty much AAA studios. The rest of the studios they bought make small indie games, and so you know, I think they bought 4 or 5 more, 6 more, something like that. So I think that, you know, they're looking for quantity, not to say that they're poor quality at all, but they're looking for quantity of titles. That's what you do to support a streaming service, to support a subscription. They're not looking to, you know, to buy all the, like, Gears and Halo. I mean, they essentially bought those studios too. They're not looking to only make those kind of games. Nintendo is more that, you know, they make only AAA internally, and Sony pretty much is only that, AAA internally. I don't see Amazon buying anybody. I think it's too hard. You could buy Activision or EA and try to put all the games on your Amazon or Google streaming service, but you know, what percentage of total content consumed is Activision? 20, if that, probably 15. What percentage is EA? 20, 15? I mean, they're not that big. So, you know, I think that they'll brand their services with some exclusive content. And think about it the way Netflix originals work. 90% of what you watch on Netflix is not originals, okay? But the originals are the reason you join. Because, you know, and the interesting thing is they have exclusives. So for a long time, you could only watch The Americans, for example, on Amazon. And that's going to go to the Disney service because that's an FX network show. You know, but like Friends was only on Netflix. It wasn't available on Amazon. So they tried to make content exclusive so you go to their service, and you can get exclusives without paying for them. So I think Amazon and Google will do what Netflix and Amazon did in the video streaming business. They'll license exclusive content that's only on their streaming service. So they will say to EA, hey, we want your sports titles and we'll pay you a ton, but they can, the only streaming service that can have them is ours. I think EA will say no, but you know, that's how they do it. So nope, I don't think anybody buys any studios. I think Sony and Microsoft will probably keep up the pace and buy some more indies. But I don't know what's left out there. I mean, there's a lot of little guys, but there's not a lot of high quality AAA kind of guys. CD Projekt, that's...
Gearbox.
Yeah, Gearbox is CD Projekt. Gearbox is probably a seller. Randy would probably sell. Our last question this week from my favorite guy on SIFTD, Mick Womble. How are you, Mick Womble? Does GTA Online really need a virtual casino? Hell yeah. With all the recent talk about video games and gambling, isn't this just furthering a negative narrative? Hell yeah. Why do you think it's become so popular and already a million free virtual gambling apps and some that use real money? I haven't played the virtual casino in GTA Online, but I think, so if I describe this wrong, please at me and let me know, because I really don't know this. I think that you can win currency that you can use in the game. I think that's what it is. And so I don't even know what anything costs in the game, but let's just pretend you want to buy a helicopter and it's $1 million, right? And you've only got like $100,000. You go to the casino and you bet, and you hope you bet on red or whatever. You hope you win $1 million and you get your helicopter. And I think the thought is, if you don't win your helicopter, you lose your 100 grand, you'll go buy another 10,000 of chips, and you'll and spend $100 and then try to build it back up. And so I think it's just a way to get you to spend money in game. And the interesting thing is, what you win is still virtual money that can't be spent outside the game, but it allows you to buy stuff in the game that you want. I will say, it's funny, there was a glitch in Fallout New Vegas, and it wasn't a real glitch, but there was a casino, and you needed money in that game to like buy stuff like ammo and weapons and stuff. You could buy them. They didn't actually charge in the game. There was no virtual currency that you could buy, but you needed money, and the way you got money was you stole it, you found it, or you went to the casino and gambled on it. And so what I discovered, and I actually don't think GTA Online does this, I would make a giant bet, like all my money, and then I would save the game before the hand was dealt or before the dice were rolled or whatever, and then I'd play, and if I won, I saved it again, and if I lost, I went back to the game save and kept re-rolling until I won. And so I literally, the first time I went in the casino in Fallout New Vegas, I went in with like 10,000, I walked out with 80 million. And
yeah, I don't think you can do that in GTA Online.
No, I don't either. But I went out with 80 million bucks, and then I just bought and my problem wasn't having money. My problem was every vendor I went to only had like 500 bullets for whatever weapon I wanted. So I literally had like 50,000 of every caliber of weapon, everything. I had 50,000 bullets, and you could carry them all with you. That was what was so awesome. Yeah, so I would never run out. That was really fun. But anyway, no, you can't do that in GTA Online. There's got to be a way to figure out how to cheat the system. That'd be so fun to figure out. Anyway, no, I don't think it's real gambling, so I don't think it's a problem. I agree with you. There are going to be some clowns who spend and spend and spend because they keep thinking they're going to win. And that's great. I love that. If you're that dumb, God bless you. The fun thing about all this stuff, spending money in games, it's entertainment. If you're having fun and that's how you have fun, go for it. So no, I don't think it's going to hurt anybody. Yes, they need it. I think their revenues are going to pop. So we're going to find out. Take-Two stock has ripped since they launched that thing. So I think investors really like it. And again, if you lose your lunch money playing virtual casino, shame on you. It's a problem if you're a family, and you're the dad and you lose the rent money in the house, the family's evicted. I hope that doesn't happen, but probably somebody will, because they're that lame. There are people who play games that are that lame. That's it for this week on Pachter Factor. I've already made the Empires and Puzzles pitch. Thanks for joining us on SIFTD.net, and I hope you're paying for this on Patreon. Thank you for your support. If not, link that Twitch account to that Prime account. If not that, follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. My Twitter followers are dropping again. What's wrong with you guys? Follow Shane at Dinfire and follow SIFTD at SIFTD Games. Again, thanks for joining us. We will see you next week.